Private is the lowest enlisted rank in the United States Marine Corps. Marines at this level wear no insignia, which is why they are sometimes called slick sleeve. Their primary responsibility is to adapt to military life by mastering the basics of discipline, physical training, and the customs of the Corps. After completing boot camp, privates typically attend the School of Infantry to train as riflemen before moving into specialized fields. Most Marines only remain privates for about 6 months before promotion, provided they meet performance standards. Private First Class. Private First Class, or PFC, is the second lowest enlisted rank, positioned above Private and below Lance Corporal. The Marine Corps established this rank in 1916 to align with the Army, though the Army's PFC now sits one grade higher. Marines in this role continue developing fundamental skills while taking on more responsibilities in training and labor tasks. Advancement to Lance Corporal requires at least 8 months as a PFC and 9 months total service time, with performance and conduct evaluated by commanding officers. Lance Corporal. Lance Corporal is the third enlisted rank and the highest Marines can hold without becoming a non-commissioned officer. It is also the most common rank in the Corps. Responsibilities include executing orders, learning leadership fundamentals, and preparing for the competitive process of promotion to corporal. Advancement is based on time in service, time in grade, and conduct, but limited availability of higher positions can delay promotion. Historically, this rank dates back to the 1830s, when Marines were temporarily promoted during the Indian Wars but still paid at their prior rank. Corporal. Corporal is the fourth enlisted rank and the lowest level of non-commissioned officer. Corporals begin formal leadership responsibilities. In infantry units, corporals often lead fire teams of 4 Marines or weapons crews. They may also act as squad leaders, though that role is usually held by a sergeant. In support units, corporals supervise junior Marines under the guidance of higher-ranking NCOS. The Marine Corps emphasizes small unit leadership, often giving corporals more authority and responsibility than their Army counterparts. Sergeant. Sergeant is the 5th enlisted rank and the 2nd NCO level, often called the backbone of the Marine Corps. Sergeants carry significant leadership duties. They typically lead a squad of about 8 Marines, serve as platoon guides assisting platoon sergeants, or take on specialized training leadership roles. At this point, performance evaluations shift from a numerical score system to fitness reports that measure leadership ability, proficiency, and overall performance. Since 1942, the Marine Corps has structured this rank to emphasize amphibious warfare and squad-level leadership using the 3 fire team system. Staff Sergeant. Staff Sergeant is the 6th enlisted rank and the first of the staff non-commissioned officer tier. Marines usually reach this level after around 6 years of service. Staff Sergeants commonly serve as platoon sergeants, section leaders, or senior supervisors, depending on their specialty. They are responsible for training, discipline, and readiness of their Marines, while also acting as a direct link between the officer corps and the junior enlisted. This rank requires advanced professional military education and marks the point where Marines begin to handle both tactical leadership and administrative duties. Gunnery Sergeant. Gunnery Sergeant, often called Gunny, is the 7th enlisted rank. At this level, Marines oversee company-sized units of around 180 personnel. They coordinate logistics, operations, and training both in garrison and in combat situations. Gunnery sergeants act as tactical advisors during missions, support command post operations, and maintain oversight of administration, supply, and discipline. Promotion to this rank requires at least 3 years as a staff sergeant, completion of professional education, and strong performance records. Marines serving as recruiters, drill instructors, or embassy security guards are often given preference in promotion. Master Sergeant. Master Sergeant is the 8th enlisted rank and shares the E8 pay grade with First Sergeant, though the 2 roles differ. Master Sergeants focus on technical leadership within their specific military occupational specialty. They serve as operations chiefs, overseeing logistics, maintenance, and combat support functions at higher levels. In aviation, artillery, and supply fields, Master Sergeants provide senior expertise and ensure operational efficiency. The title Top is often used informally for Master Sergeants, depending on unit traditions. First Sergeant. First Sergeant also holds the E8 pay grade, but follows the leadership-focused track instead of the technical route. They serve as senior enlisted advisors to company or battery commanders. Their responsibilities center on morale, discipline, and the welfare of Marines under their command. Unlike Master Sergeants, First Sergeants do not specialize in technical areas, but instead concentrate on unit readiness and personnel issues. Marines must choose between the First Sergeant path or the Master Sergeant path, as progression depends on leadership focus versus technical mastery. Master Gunnery Sergeant. Master Gunnery Sergeant is the 9th enlisted rank and represents the highest technical leadership position available. These Marines provide senior-level expertise in fields such as infantry, artillery, aviation, and logistics. At this level, they supervise large-scale operations including maintenance, supply chains, and advanced weapon systems. They typically serve at Marine aircraft wings, Marine logistics groups, or other major commands. While their pay grade equals that of Sergeant Major, their career trajectory is technical rather than command-oriented. Sergeant Major. Sergeant Major shares the E9 pay grade with Master Gunnery Sergeant, but represents the leadership track. Instead of technical oversight, Sergeants Major focus on unit-wide leadership and act as senior enlisted advisors to commanders at the battalion or higher level. They ensure discipline, manage morale, and serve as the primary voice for enlisted Marines within command leadership structures. Marines reaching this rank typically have decades of experience with at least 3 years as a First Sergeant and a record of leadership excellence. Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. The Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps is the highest enlisted position, designated above E9 as a special pay grade. This Marine serves as the senior enlisted advisor to the Commandant of the Marine Corps. The role involves counseling on morale, training, discipline, and welfare of the entire enlisted force. Established in 1957, it was the first senior enlisted advisory billet in the U.S. military. The individual in this position serves a 4-year term, though tenure is ultimately at the discretion of the Commandant. While this is the top enlisted billet, the senior enlisted advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff technically outranks it in terms of inter-service authority. Warrant Officer 1. Warrant Officer 1 is the entry-level officer rank for Marines selected as technical specialists. Candidates must apply and be approved by the Secretary of the Navy. Upon acceptance, they attend the Warrant Officer Basic Course in Quantico, Virginia. Warrant officers are appointed to provide specialized technical expertise, bridging the gap between enlisted Marines and commissioned officers. Their authority is limited compared to commissioned officers, but greater than that of enlisted personnel. Chief Warrant Officer 2. Chief Warrant Officer 2, or CWO2, is the first commissioned rank within the Warrant Officer track. At this level, Marines assume full commissioning authority and typically serve as technical advisors at battalion-level commands. They lead in specific occupational specialties, providing expert guidance to commanders and organizations. Promotion eligibility requires demonstrated technical skill, leadership, and service performance as a Warrant Officer 1. Chief Warrant Officer 3. Chief Warrant Officer 3 represents an advanced technical leadership rank. Promotions are determined by selection boards based on evaluations of service records and performance. CWOS at this level serve as subject matter experts and often work in brigade-level assignments. Their authority grows to include advisory roles in decision-making at higher command levels while maintaining technical specialization. Chief Warrant Officer 4. Chief Warrant Officer 4 is recognized as a senior-level expert. These officers act as advisors between commanders and technical fields, resolving issues that arise across battalions, brigades, or divisions. They balance technical mastery with leadership responsibilities, often bridging operational decision-making with deep occupational knowledge. Promotion requires long service, proven expertise, and a record of advising commanders effectively. Chief Warrant Officer 5. Chief Warrant Officer 5 is the highest warrant officer rank in the Marine Corps. CWOS at this level perform the same advisory duties as CWO4, but on a broader scale, often across divisions or higher commands. They serve as the top technical experts in their specialties, holding authority equivalent to senior commissioned officers in their field of expertise. Advancement to this level is extremely selective, requiring decades of service, flawless records, and mastery of technical leadership. Second Lieutenant. Second Lieutenant is the entry-level commissioned officer rank in the Marine Corps. Newly commissioned officers attend the basic school in Quantico, Virginia, where they receive 6 months of training in leadership, tactics, and combat skills. Upon completion, they are assigned to lead a platoon, which typically consists of 16 to 44 Marines. Their authority is supported by a senior, non-commissioned officer, usually a platoon sergeant. Most second lieutenants remain in this role for about 2 years before becoming eligible for promotion. First Lieutenant. First Lieutenant is the next officer rank, automatically achieved after 24 months of satisfactory service as a second lieutenant. Officers at this rank may continue leading platoons or serve as company executive officers, assisting the company commander in overseeing up to 200 Marines. Their responsibilities expand to include planning operations, supervising training, and managing administrative functions. Promotion is contingent on conduct, leadership performance, and professional development. Captain. Captain is a company-grade officer rank, usually responsible for commanding a company of 62 to 190 Marines. Captains direct tactical operations, manage training schedules, and oversee the welfare of their unit. They also mentor junior officers and act as staff officers at the battalion level. To progress further, captains must attend advanced schooling and may later assume roles such as company commander, battalion staff officer, or instructor at combat schools. Promotion to captain depends on demonstrated leadership ability, operational experience, and successful command performance. Major. Major is the 4th officer rank and the entry level of field grade officers. Majors often serve as battalion executive officers, weapons company commanders, or regimental staff officers. Their responsibilities include managing large-scale operations, planning missions, and supervising subordinate officers. Unlike earlier automatic promotions, advancement to major is competitive, with approximately 80% of captains selected. Eligible officers usually have between 9 and 11 years of service, and promotion requires selection by a board evaluating operational leadership and career performance. Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel is the 5th officer rank, typically commanding battalion or squadron-sized units of 300 to 1,200 Marines. They may also serve as executive officers for regiments, aviation groups, or expeditionary units. In higher staff positions, lieutenant colonels act as chiefs of staff within Marine expeditionary brigades, Marine aircraft wings, or logistics groups. Officers usually reach this rank after 16 to 22 years of service. Colonel. Colonel is the 6th officer rank, responsible for commanding regiments, large installations, or Marine Corps bases. Colonels may also serve as brigade executive officers or senior staff officers at the division level. Their duties combine high-level leadership with long-range planning and coordination of operations across multiple battalions. Colonels are often selected for advanced military education at institutions such as the Marine Corps War College or the Army War College, preparing them for general officer roles. Brigadier General. Brigadier General is the 1st general officer rank in the Marine Corps and carries 1 star. Officers promoted to this level usually serve as deputy commanders of divisions or as commanders of Marine expeditionary brigades, which may consist of up to 20,000 Marines. Promotion to Brigadier General is highly selective. Candidates are screened by a promotion board of senior generals, nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. By law, the Marine Corps is limited to a small number of general officers on active duty at any given time, making this rank rare. Major General. Major General is a 2-star general officer rank. Officers at this level may serve as division commanders or as senior staff officers at combatant commands. Promotion follows the same process as for Brigadier General, requiring board selection, nomination by the President, and Senate confirmation. Major Generals are required to retire after 5 years in grade or 35 years of service unless further promoted. This rank reflects permanent high-level leadership responsibilities within the Marine Corps and Joint Force structures. Lieutenant General. Lieutenant General is a 3-star rank and one of the highest in the Marine Corps. Officers at this level typically command Marine expeditionary forces consisting of 20,000 to 45,000 Marines or serve in senior staff positions at the Pentagon and combatant commands. Promotion is tied to specific positions and remains temporary, expiring when the officer leaves the billet. Nomination by the President and Senate confirmation are required. Officers must retire after 38 years of service unless further promoted or reappointed. General. General is the highest rank in the United States Marine Corps, designated by 4 stars. By law, only 2 active duty Marines may hold this rank at any given time, the Commandant of the Marine Corps and the Assistant Commandant. This is a temporary rank that expires when the officer's term ends. Officers are nominated by the President, reviewed by the Secretary of Defense and Service Leadership, and confirmed by the Senate. The standard tour for a 4-star general is 4 years. Generals must retire after 40 years of service, or at age 64, whichever comes first. To see how those generals lead the most elite warriors in America, check out our breakdown, every Special Forces unit in the U.S. military explained in detail.